Hey guys, Gabe here, and this is Realty on Wheels. This is video number 2 for today, and I make these videos because I have a lot of people who've asked me about things real estate, and I haven't had a chance to really spend a lot of time in the studio lately, just because I've been so busy. So instead what I've been doing is taking the time that I have commuting from listing appointments to buyer's consultations to whatever the case may be. In terms of spend so much time in my car, I figured I would just give you guys some raw content, but at least answer your questions. So if you like these videos, if you get something from these videos, please subscribe to the page, like the video if there's any information in there that helps you, and also feel free to go browsing through the page and grab any or watch any videos I have there. This content is out there for you guys to enjoy. So one of the questions I had from someone recently was actually, what are seller fees? So when you're selling your house, there's obviously fees you have to pay, and what do those look like? And obviously that varies. There's a huge variety of fees that can be incorporated with the seller. It just depends. And so one of the biggest things is obviously you have your commissions. The seller usually will pay for the commission for the buyer and the listing agent. Now, I'm not going to say there's a standard, because technically there is not a standard. We actually do a lower commission than most agents that I know of. But again, it's not standardized. It's just me comparing myself to other agents that I know in town, and in my own office. So that being said, it just depends. It varies. The law is pretty much that we're not allowed to even discuss, essentially, we can discuss our commission rates with our clients and within our office, but we are not allowed to discuss commission rates with anyone else. So that being said, commission rates can vary, but for the sake of just kind of giving you guys some information, when I used to flip houses, or when I was doing it with an agent that I hired before I was a realtor myself, I used to always ballpark 8 to 10% of my sales price to go towards closing costs and commissions and all that good stuff. It was just a very rough round number, but it usually panned out pretty well. So that being said, 8 to 10% is a good number to go by, and I'm gonna break down a little bit of what that looks like. So essentially, on the seller side, you're gonna have the commissions, the owner's title policy, the warranty deed, transfer tax, and the transfer taxes, I believe only at Georgia. I believe it's in Georgia only. I don't think Tennessee has a transfer tax, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the estimated property taxes. So that's something that gets prorated, and so ideally you're going to just pay based on how many months of the year you've owned the property, and how many days, and then the buyer will be responsible for the remainder of the year. So that gets prorated. And then you have admin fees, which vary from the admin fees vary from one brokerage to another. We charge anywhere between $300 and $500, just depends on the transaction, and there's a lot of variables for us, so it's not even a definite amount for us. But that being said, that's essentially what you would pay for. And I just pulled into one of my listings over here in East Brainerd. This is actually a property that is under contract, and I am coming in here and I'm gonna check on some items because we had home inspection done, and I want to make sure that the items that were requested of the home inspection to be done are completed prior to closing. It's one of the things I always do. I always go through the properties and make sure that that's done. But before I get off and do this, on the buyer side, some of the expenses you might have, or for the buyer, as the seller, some of the things you might pay for the buyer is going to be a home protection plan, and that varies. It can run anywhere between $300 and, I mean, it goes up from there. On average, it's usually about $500 for a decent home protection plan. And all that does is it's a home warranty, protects their major appliances, things like that. If they go bad, you know, they're covered and whatnot. So that's usually one of the things that you'll pay for. In this market, it's a little different, but it's not uncommon for a home protection plan to be paid for. And then the last thing is that if the buyer has some fees as well, that they have to pay their agent or their agent's brokerage for admin fees and stuff like that. There is scenarios where the seller does pay for that. And so I want you guys to think about it this way. We see this market and see the chaos that we have in this market, and it's such a seller's market that we don't realize that at some point that's going to kind of flip, and so all these things are going to be common again. So have understanding, have knowledge, because that can happen not overnight, but fairly quickly. It can happen where things will just transition from, oh, I have you know, when I bought my house, I didn't get, you know, this, I didn't get closing costs, I didn't get home warranty. Well, if it flips to a buyer's market, you'll probably, as the seller, have to provide those things. So just keep that in mind. Again, thanks for watching. This is Realty on Wheels. I'm Gabe. I'm with G Squared Real Team. We run a real estate team throughout the whole state of Tennessee. We actually specialize and focus on 3 areas, and one is relocation, the second is investment property, and the third is we work with a lot of listings in the luxury market, so to speak. It's not something we chose, it's just something that happened, and we've just seen enormous success in those 3 realms. So yeah, if you have any questions, if you're thinking about moving to Tennessee, if you're thinking about investing in Tennessee, let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you. Thanks for watching this video. Again, you can go and watch some other videos that I have on there. I'll try to get these, I'll try to get the office to put these on the page relatively quickly so that you guys can catch this video and this material, and it'll be posted on Facebook and all that good stuff. But yeah, it was great chatting with you. Hope you got some good information out of that and what the costs can be for the seller.